Getting around in the north ain't easy. Deep snow and harsh weather make travel difficult, to say the least. But there came a machine that changed all that. A vehicle made for this environment. A machine designed for speed. A machine designed for snow. Snowmobile! Go, go! You know, there is an art to Nordic skiing, a technique. I don't have it, but thankfully I don't need it because I have access to a vehicle which will move me across the snow at high speeds. I like to call it the chariot of the north. Some folks call it a snowmobile. Snowmobile is fast, versatile, and let's face it, pretty darn sexy. Kinda like me. Unlike me, the snowmobile has three key components: the motor, the skis, and the continuous track. The track is key to understanding how snowmobiles move. As we all know, the ideal shape for rotational propulsion is a perfect circle, like a car tire. However, in deep snow, this shape would make the approach angle too steep. If a snowmobile had a circular track, it would dig down and get stuck in the snow. Less than ideal. By flattening the track out on the bottom, more surface contact with the snow is made, allowing the snowmobile to displace its weight and maximize propulsion. The approach angle and width of a track vary according to its use. Tracks made for deep snow are different than those designed for racing on packed snow. The machines of today represent the pinnacle of a century of design evolution. The first snow machines were used in the lumber industry. They were basically steam locomotives on skis. Fortunately, they got smaller. Joseph-Armand Bombardier began to build snow machines in the 1920s. Early experiments used propellers and parts from a Ford Model T. He continued to tinker, but he didn't tinker alone. The 1930s saw a boom in experimentation in this technology. Then Bombardier made a major breakthrough: the B7 snowmobile. It was the first snow machine to go into mass production. It soon evolved to become the B12. These machines could carry several passengers and still have space for cargo. After World War II, Bombardier's machines were working in cold weather everywhere. Even though the snowmobile is a really practical way to get around, it wasn't long before people realized it's also a ton of fun. So a new winter sport was born. It's a sport that's growing in leaps and bounds, especially leaps and bounds. All dolled up, ready to go. Pretty psyched to learn how to ride here. I'm gonna take a lesson from a professional snowmobile racer.
Jeff, ready for your lesson?
I am ready!
All right, let's go.
I wanna go fast.
This is the gas.
Gas.
This is the brakes.
Brake.
Okay, now, when you touch this brake, track's gonna lock up, it's gonna stop, okay?
Right.
When you wanna ride, your body weight usually wants to be about mid, okay? Tuck your feet under for bumps and stuff like that. Just get comfortable on the sled, okay?
Right.
Do you wanna try?
Yeah.
See how you feel on it?
All right. Okay, so I wanna sit I'm in here somewhere. Well, I guess it just sort of feels like
Just
you just
rubber,
sort of...
yeah. Okay.
How do I start this thing?
Okay, now, well, let's do the safety. Don't get, you're getting ahead of yourself, okay?
I wanna go!
Before we go anywhere, we have to talk about the safety.
Okay.
Okay, this is a tether cord. Have this attached to you at all times.
Okay.
When this comes detached from the sled, the whole sled's gonna turn off.
This is like a kill switch.
Yeah, so if the event of you coming off the sled, the whole sled's gonna stop, which isn't gonna happen, don't worry.
Okay, okay.
Okay?
All right.
Now, you have to be wearing a helmet at all times when the
Okay.
sled's moving. So
Safety, of
okay?
course, yeah.
This is the switch to turn
Right.
on the sled. It's gotta be centered. You need to give it a little bit of gas when you start it up.
Okay.
Okay, give this a good pull, okay, and it'll start it right up.
Okay.
When you're riding quarters,
Right.
use the handlebars and your body weight. So
Okay.
if you're going right, you're gonna be switching your body weight over.
Right.
Yeah, dropping your knee down a little bit.
And I
Put your
want
body
to lean,
weight,
right?
Yeah, body weight to the right.
And then I'll be hauling, but
Oh,
not like that,
no,
right?
Don't have that hand
Okay,
on there.
good.
There you
Got
go.
it.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay. Oh, love it.
There you go.
Ah. You go first. Oh man, I am a total convert. Woohoo! Go, sister! Woohoo! Oh yeah! That is the best.
See, how hard was that?
That
It was easy.
was great.
I know. It's easy stuff.
It's addictive though.
I
I
know.
can see why you would want to go and jump these things on them.
But usually, most normal people trail ride.
Sure, okay.
Yeah, but we're not normal.
After riding with Kirsten, it's easy to see why there's a whole subculture of people who totally dig snowmobiling. Guys like this. Look at them loving it.
I live in Acton and I ride it across the lake and around this whole trail system we have all the way around Acton into the backside. Go to the Tim Hortons in town for a coffee almost every night after work just for just a fun ride. A lot of the guys come out. It's fun.
It doesn't give you quite the same kind of thing as meeting somebody at 100 miles an hour. Or you try.
Geez, there's nothing not to like. Oh, look at this nice weather, look at the nice machines we've got now. And like I always say, if God made something better, he kept it for himself.
But the snowmobile is much more than just the ultimate winter fun ride. The snowmobile started as a winter work vehicle, and it continues to be one today.
What the snowmobile does is replace the dog team. I've been trapping this since 1983, 85, and the gentleman that had it before I did, he trapped it for 50 years. He used to do it by snowshoes, and in the fall he used to canoe and walk. Before the snowmobiles, the trappers would be gone for sometimes months at the time. And nowadays with the snowmobile, you could travel the distance that it took a trapper 50 years ago, a week or 2 weeks to travel. One beaver. Snowmobiling for me is not for sport or for fun. I do it, well, for trapping, and it's a piece of equipment that I need to do my work. That's it, only one. I love the work, and the snowmobile allows me to do that. If you didn't have a snowmobile, surely I wouldn't be doing this.
In the 1950s, the snowmobile took another giant leap forward when Bombardier turned this into this. In 1959, Bombardier introduced the first model of the Ski-Doo, and it became a big hit. Its easy handling turned people onto the fun of riding, and a new recreational industry was born.
Winter excitement begins with Ski-Doo, the light-footed snowmobile that's fast, frisky, wonderful fun. So perfectly balanced in power and weight, the light-footed Ski-Doo will glide over an egg without breaking it. A real egg.
At the original time, it was supposed to be called a ski dog. And at the patent office, they made a mistake, a typo or whatever, and they put it as a Ski-Doo. And that's how they got the name Ski-Doo.
The thing that made the Ski-Doo easy to handle was the pioneer use of the transmission. Called CVT, or continuous variable transmission, it gives an almost infinite and automatic selection of gear ranges between two clutches. For a snowmobile, it means the machine is always in the right gear. And that is good. Ken's a snowmobile mechanic, and he knows a bunch of stuff about the CVT. Go, Ken.
As soon as the motor starts, the primary clutch starts spinning, and what it does, it has a couple of rollers or weights and stuff in here, and the more centrifugal force, the more RPMs from the engine is going to squeeze this together. It's going to pull the belt up, and then it opens up the driven clutch. And then it sends power down a chain to a drive axle to your track, and that's what gives you your forward motion. Now the new snowmobiles are for diehards that put on, 160 miles a day, 200 miles a day. Compared to before, you did 20 miles and that was a long day,
Yeah, I do know! My ass is killing me! Thanks, Ken! 20 miles, I couldn't do 20 minutes on this thing. As you can tell, it's a lot rougher, a lot wobblier, and a whole lot louder. Whoa! But basically, it's a very simple machine. The differences between a sled from the 60s and one from today become apparent when you place them side by each.
68 Ski-Doo Olympic, 250cc, and we've got a 2004 Ski-Doo Rev 600. So what we've got is we've got over 35 years in the evolution of snowmobiles. You look on the old Ski-Doo, your knees are up like this. You're not in a position to, when you hit a bump, you're feeling it, right? You see, if you sat on this thing, when you sit on it, your butt is higher than your knees. So now you're able to actually kind of ride this thing like a motorcycle. So this is just a single cylinder, fan cooled, probably puts out about 15 horsepower tops, maybe revs about 4,000 RPM. Here you've got an engine that is 600cc, liquid cooled, 118 horsepower, runs about 8,500 RPM. It's all electronic controlled. Metal skis, there's no shocks, no dampening, 1.5 inches of suspension travel, just real bare bones. Newer snowmobiles, you've got coilover shock, 12 inches of suspension travel. The skis are now made out of a high density polyethylene plastic. The old snowmobiles had what was called a bogey wheel suspension. No springs in here, some torsion springs for a little bit of suspension, but there's basically nothing. New snowmobiles have what's called a slide rail suspension, and it has hydraulically dampened shocks, torsion springs. Rubber track though, still stays the same, just a lot deeper lug track. Where on the old Ski-Doo, it was, these things basically started out as a farm implement equipment. You can see there's like nothing. These things were just like a conveyor belt, adapted to a vehicle to make it move through the snow. And the newer sleds, they're a lot quieter. Basically all the noise off a snowmobile today is the track noise, it's not the engine noise.
Well, whether or not it's the engine or the track, the snowmobile still makes a lot of noise. And most people go to the great outdoors to get a little peace and quiet. So, the sound of a snowmobile may not be music to everyone's ears. That's why the engineers at the Michigan Tech testing facility are working on creating a quieter machine. This test measures the levels of noise pollution from a snowmobile's engine.
Once I know a snowmobile has a loud component, this tool lets me know which component is causing the problem. Until you quiet the loudest component, you can't lower the level of the overall snowmobile. We take a digital photo of the engine compartment, and then we superimpose the sound intensity data, and it lets us see where the acoustic energy is coming from and where it's going to.
Audio testing is also done to determine how much noise actually reaches the rider.
Here is a binaural recording head, and it's used primarily for sound quality type of noise studies, where the tone of the sound and the direction of the sound is more important than just the amplitude. And the nice part about this unit is that it hears sound the same way that human beings perceive sound. And so it's a very accurate representation, and that's why we use it to study the human effect of sound. All manufactured snowmobiles are required to be under 78 decibels in order to be sold in North America. Well, here we have a tool that we use for measuring the vibration that goes to the rider. It's called a seat pad accelerometer. And Russ is going to ride the machine, so he's going to sit on the accelerometer, which measures how much vibration is coming up out of the machine and into him.
Lots of research that goes into how do people ride, how do women ride, how do men ride, what physical shape people are in, what size they are, and how do we adjust suspension to match that sort of thing.
So the snowmobile continues to evolve and change. But not only does it change itself, the snowmobile has also changed the environment.
Oh, this so beats cross-country skiing, man. So not only has the machine itself changed a lot, but it's also had a pretty profound effect on the environment.
By the 1970s, snowmobiles had become more comfortable and more powerful than ever. But with that power came danger. In a landscape full of farmers' fences and unmarked trails, fatalities were on the rise. In the interest of consumer safety, manufacturers of snowmobiles started programs to build snowmobile trails. Right away, fatalities were reduced by 30%. Snowmobilers themselves got into the act by helping to create the Groom Trail Network that now covers thousands of kilometers in Canada and the US.
Trail building is everything for the sport. At one time it was all make your own trail and try and get somewhere. Today, with over 40,000 kilometers of trails in Ontario, we need good groomer system. The concept of this drag unit, it's a multi-blade unit, and with this front set of drags with the teeth, it breaks the snow up. The following blades mix the snow together, and you're hopefully mixing old snow with new snow, putting in moisture. It keeps bringing it back, shuffling it through all of that. This pan then distributes the snow out and packs it down so that you have a smooth and refurbished snow trail. Trails and snowmobiling clubs kicked the popularity of the sport up a whole bunch of notches.
Businesses caught on quickly and started catering to the snowmobilers, so much so that the economy in some towns is now dependent on the revenue from winter tourism.
Some communities in the north, towns like Cochrane, Kapuskasing, Kirkland Lake, where some of their other industries have not been quite as active in the last few years, that depend on the snowmobiling business very heavily. And with them, some of it starts in early December and goes right into mid-April, so it's a very important part of their economy.
And then you got the park.
We have a lot of people here who come and do day loops. Then there's a lot who will use this as a dropping off point and go out for 5 or 6 nights, and some of their trips will, be anywhere from 1,200 to 1,500 kilometers in length by the time they get back to us. I love the business. I don't get much time to do it. I really like the end of March when things get quiet and I can get out and ride a little bit.
The snowmobile is not only a unique machine, it's damn fun. It's like skiing, but without all that nasty exercise. Plus, who wouldn't love zipping around on the snow on a machine that rivals the racing car in technology?
Woohoo! Well, I gotta tell you, snowmobiling's got it all. It's got thrills, it's got momentum, it's got speed. It's just an incredible way to get around on the snow. Of course, there is one area where the cross-country ski has a distinct advantage over the snowmobile. It doesn't run out of gas. Guess I'm walking in. Where's in?